But happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome to today's Best Homes Momentum Bootcamp. This is a 12-week program where we're going to go into the intricacies of real estate. So it's almost envision real estate school. I know it's a bit of a nightmare, but you know, they go through like 12 chapters, different things. You have to memorize everything. So not quite as intense and memorizing when it comes down to a vocabulary session, but we're going to go through all the very important pillars of real estate. From one, finding your momentum, the importance of your schedule, the importance of routine, and the importance of just keeping to your schedule. You just opened up a business. So everyone who just got their real estate license, or anyone who's joining us or viewing that is in the process of getting their real estate license, congratulations, number one. And then number two, you are your own entity, you're a business. So here at Best Homes Real Estate, our goal is to help you build your brand, build your empire, whether you want to sell a few houses a year or whether you want to sell a few houses a month. We are here every shape, way, and form. We have agents that you can reference to, talk to, have events that we have throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the year, that you can really just connect with other people that have a similar lifestyle, similar attributes. It's like, this is the person I aim to be, you know, name it, we kind of offer it. So this particular bootcamp is designed to really ensure your success in this industry. So the first one we're going to start with today is, let me just share my screen real quick. Sorry, we're having a little hiccup on the internet, but overall our goal today is to kind of just go over the importance of routine is today's agenda in a sense. So, you know, one thing that I've kind of observed from joining Alan, our CEO owner of Best Homes Real Estate, is being a top producer, the studying of someone who is one of the top 1%ers out there, right? And then you kind of ask the top producers or anyone who's killing it, even if like they beat the odds. We have agents who sold a house within a few weeks of being in the industry, within a few months. They beat those. I take the average agent 3 to 6 months to sell their first home. We have a lot of best agents who actually beat those odds. So one thing I like to kind of ask is, one, how they did it. I love observing. And then two, being real estate agents, we don't always kind of get to do that because one, maybe we work from home, we work remote, we are showing houses. So it kind of removes it from like that office environment where you do kind of see people on a daily basis. So that's where we in turn are trying to create this atmosphere that you still are able to learn the same way. So it always starts with routine. If you get the opportunity to ask anyone in any industry what makes them so successful, it always typically starts with routine, consistency. Even if it's a diet plan, even if it's learning something new, a new skill set. And when it comes to opening up your own business, routine is important. But welcome everyone to today's call. And if you have any questions, feel free to stop or ask me throughout in the chat, or you can comment down below. But the overview of the 12-week boot camp is starting with today. Today, our goal is to do a 90-day planning session to really dive deep into some of the forms that we have that are going to actually help you implement and perfect that system. But the next 11 weeks from there, it's going to start with transaction desk. How to do it, how to be efficient in transaction desk, because as we know, we're writing a lot more offers, so to get the one accepted. So it's very important that off the bat, you know where transaction desk is, how to use it. Because if you have any luck like I did, you get your first contract, it's like, okay, I'll get there like when I get there, or I learned it, but then months later I wrote my offer, and then I have to write it in the middle of the night at 9 o'clock on a Saturday. And I'm just by myself in my house in my living room, right? So if you ever get across that scenario, you'll at least know how to do it. You'll be efficient. And that's going to be hosted by one of our success managers. We're going to go over branding, which is the importance of knowing your value proposition, buyer 101, CRM use, open house, how to run comps, listing 101, land contracts. There's a lot of people buying land on there. So we did feel that was a very important course to review in this particular boot camp, was because more people are buying land in the outskirts of the city due to the lack of inventory, right? So it's very important that you are comfortable on how to do that. And then of course, for sell by owners, It's a pillar that some work, some don't. And it's, if you end up getting some fun little attributes in regards to that, Home Partners of America. So you'll see that those are two, we're starting from the basics all the way to different pillars of the business that you can add in addition to something we talk about a lot. Example, online leads. We have a lot of our agents have access to online leads. You can hire someone who can generate more online leads for you. So we're touching on things that are going to be in addition to what you are probably already aiming for, such as SOI and online leads. So these are just additional pillars that you can aim to improve on and or add to your business blueprint. And then, of course, we'll be going over social media lead generation. And then this is going to be a revolving 12-week course. So the goal for today is for everyone who's attending today's call is to go through the full course. In the event you can't make it, things happen, you have appointments, but we're going to talk into scheduling and the importance of blocking time in a little bit. You can view this after today's session. It's at 11 a.m. every Tuesday for about an hour to an hour and a half. So kind of just keep that in mind. Some of these classes can go a little longer depending on the course, but we aim to get you done within an hour. But we really wanted to make sure that we started with, our founder, the CEO of Best Homes Real Estate, Alan. I'm a true fan of Alan being, like I mentioned earlier, top 1%er agent, so we can learn. He is available to you at all times to really kind of get going and just have some words of wisdom, some words of inspiration on the mastermind throughout the week, of course. But I really wanted to ensure that he helped launch today's bootcamp and just kind of visit on the why, on how important, how this is going to help your business going into real estate, and or maybe just get that amped up, or for any experienced agents who are on here, just to really just help ignite what you're already doing to the other level. So Alan is someone who has sold consistently homes and then doubled and then tripled and then quadrupled his business. So if you're in the realm of doing that as well, that's something that all of these back to basics tools can teach you. So with great introduction, Alan, if you don't mind, just introducing yourself to the group and letting everyone know about the importance of your first 90 days in real estate.
Good morning, guys. How's everybody doing? Can't hear you guys. Come on, unmute yourselves. How's everybody doing?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Good.
All right. Isn't Melissa just freaking great? Guys, I mean, please raise your hands. I mean, who do you think, you guys think Melissa is amazing, right?
Yes, she is amazing. Her energy is amazing.
We're so blessed.
Absolutely amazing.
Absolutely amazing. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, guys. So I'm super stoked, super excited about sharing some of the things that really helped me in the last 9 years. In becoming a top producing agent, a team leader, a broker owner here in a company. And I really want to kind of to break it down for you guys in a way where you guys are going to be able to really implement it in your business, whether you're a brand new agent or experienced agents or top producing agent, doesn't really matter. I think these principles work for all of you. But before I start, I just want to ask, and I want this to be very interactive, guys. Like, I want to ask you one question, and if you can just kind of share it to me, you can put it in the chat, or you can just kind of, let us know. What got you into real estate? Why real estate? Why did you guys get into the real estate business in the first place? Let's start with Becky Meyer.
Thanks, Alan.
No pressure, Becky. No pressure.
Right? The oldest one probably on this
No,
call.
because you're all the way on top. That's why.
Really, my main reason is I've been in the corporate world, high pressure, and I just wanted to have more control of my life. I wanted more of a balance. And so I have total ownership now. And so just be my own boss and be in charge of my own destiny, and then just be able to provide maybe a better lifestyle for my family. So that's really the reason why I started real estate.
All right. So you were in the corporate world for many, many years, and you decided to venture out into the real estate world where you're in charge of your own destiny.
Yes.
So where there's no cap, there's no ceiling, and you can make as much as you really want to make in this business.
Absolutely.
Very good. Thanks so much, Becky. All right, next on the list, I got Eddie.
The reason I wanted to go into real estate because for the last couple of years I've always had a passion for real estate, and this year I really decided to. This year it was the year to go into it. I was in college before this, so I paused college, and I'm getting my real estate license, starting my own business because I was tired of working for other people, other bosses not being happy with me. So I want to be my own boss, make my own schedule. That's why I got into real estate.
Awesome. So you want to be your own boss, right? And have your own schedule.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Great. Thanks so much, Eddie. Emisha.
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. Yes. Perfectly fine.
Okay, so the reason why I joined real estate was because honestly, when I was younger, we would go on walks with my family and I would always compare and contrast and be like, I wonder what's in this house compared to this house. So that kind of triggered the, joining the real estate industry. Also, I was assistant property managers for like commercial malls and stuff. So that was kind of, like she said, dealing with the corporate world. I kind of wanted to do, real estate and then, build a foundation for my family.
Awesome. Building a foundation for your family. I love that. Thank you so much, Amisha.
Yes.
All right, David, our youngest agent here in the brokerage. We're not gonna share your age, David, but you're pretty young, dude.
I would say I joined because I had a crappy job before this, but
You had a job?
no, I'm just saying like I'm 19, so this is really my first career. So I just joined because I honestly understand the power of making my own schedule and understanding the power of being able to make it, just overseeing the people around me. So that's one thing. And then a couple other things, my whole family is honestly in real estate. So I really like it. It's been around me my whole life. And it's also really fulfilling helping families, like, to be honest. So I really like that portion.
Love it. Love it. Great. Thanks so much, David. Christina Jordan.
Hi, everyone. Well, I can relate to most of you. I was working for people. I was in customer service. I've always excelled in my job, but I did not like working for other people. So I really wanted my own business. I wanted to create my own schedule. I have a big family, and that's really important for me.
Love it. Awesome. Be your own boss, right? All right. All right. Herb, the third.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to echo a little bit of what's already been mentioned, but prior to this, I had been in sales for a number of years, so I always enjoyed sales, but didn't necessarily enjoy what I was doing and what I was selling. So the opportunity to sell not just an item, but to sell somebody the dream that they have always wanted, that kind of stuff is priceless. The money goes along with it, so that of course is great. But to actually, start putting something together that you can pass down through generations and even build wealth for yourself through other investments and whatnot. Those are the reasons I joined.
Awesome, man. And you're doing a really, really good job.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Herb. All right. Next one, we got Mr. Ryan Bonward. Welcome, Ryan.
Hello. Yeah, thank you. For me, it's just the idea of like no limitations. You can do as much as you want, go as far as you want, and also you're in control of your destiny. So that's the one thing I really like about it. That yeah, you're your own boss, and there are no limitations to what you can do. So
Awesome, dude. Awesome. You're gonna crush it, man. I can feel it.
yeah, thank you.
All right. Let's continue. Who's Best Homes Real Estate? Is it Tristan? I'm assuming.
Yes, that's me.
Okay, Tristan. All right. Alyssa Joyner. Welcome. Alyssa is our success manager down in Tucson. Alyssa, can you talk?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, pardon my voice. Whole family got the flu this week.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Well, share with us why you got into the real estate 3.5 years ago.
So I decided to make the transition into real estate because providing kind of what Herb was saying, finding somebody that dream, being able to get it, to hand over the keys and really be a part of that was something I could definitely get behind. Seeing just the joy and happiness when you get to help somebody take the next step and finding a home.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. All right. Thanks so much, Alyssa. iPhone. Who's iPhone?
Is it Natalie's iPhone?
I don't know.
I guess it would be my iPhone. It's Pat Kirk. How are you?
Oh, Patricia Kirk. How are you, ma'am?
I'm doing very well.
Wonderful.
I'm sorry, what was that?
What got you into the real estate?
You know, I've always been intrigued with it. You know, I spent a lot of years as a reporter, you know, going and interviewing people, seeing their beautiful homes in California, and was always intrigued with, you know, designs and implementation and stuff like that. So primarily, you know, just speaking on behalf of all the other, you know, people that have spoken, I pretty much, you know, have a lot of the same reasons that they do: the autonomy, the ability to be my own boss, the ability to work as hard as I want to, and just create the dream, you know, that I want for myself and my family. So I would love to, you know, do this. I am doing it, and I want to incorporate a little bit of entertainment into it. So it's, like I said, it's a dream come true for me, and I would like to see it through fruition.
Right on. Thanks so much, Pat. All right, Natalie's phone.
Hi. So I went into real estate because it was just kind of the obvious choice for me. You know, I've always been in sales, and I have a civil engineering background. Plus I love like interior design. So it kind of just, it made sense since I have so many kids and working sales. It was always, you know, mandatory weekends, mandatory holidays. I never really got to see my kids. And I feel like I'm at that point in my life where I can control my own life. I don't need someone to tell me what hours I need to work, and what paycheck I deserve.
Love it. Love it. Awesome. Thanks so much, Natalie. Great to have you. Miss Lori.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Man, I would love to see all of your beautiful faces. I tell you. There's a way we can require Zoom to show faces. Melissa, is there a way we can do that? No. All right.
No.
Go for it, Lori. They don't want to cut you off.
The reason why I got into it was because I like having flexibility in my schedule. I have younger kids and I want to be able to volunteer in school. I also love to travel. So that was one of the main reasons why I got into it. Also, it's a huge challenge for me. I'm very much an introvert. So this is like really pushing me to do something different. And I want to be able to earn a lot more income than I would normally would in the public sector.
Love it. Beautiful. Thanks so much, Lori. Max Cunningham. Good morning, sir. Max Cunningham, the only one.
Hey, yeah, I'm here. All
right, sir.
What got me into real estate? Well, because I'm a contractor, and that sucks. And that's you know, I was actually a remodeler and a fix and flip guy back in 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then not really so much 7, and then 8 was horrible. And I just needed something else to do that was going to be better for longevity, right? Something I could do for the rest of my life, because contracting, which is what I'm doing right this minute, you know, there's only so far, you know, you got to age out, and I'm pretty much done that. So I've always liked real estate. I had my hand in it. I was a mortgage broker for 4.5, 5 years before this, and I swore I'd never be an agent because the agents I dealt with were so arrogant, which is that's a cuss word.
No, we are
But then-
arrogant. No way. Absolutely not.
Well, so I was a mortgage broker in the San Francisco Bay Area. So, that's 24 years ago or 23 years ago. And these guys, these gals, they were making incredible money back then, just like you can today, if you're a hustle and you're hustling, I guess, big time. So, you can pull down, and these guys are pulling down $1 million a year, and they didn't really have to work that hard because their average sale price was 600,000-700,000, or basic beginning sale price back then. So there was a lot of arrogance, man. And, I would, as a mortgage broker, go and call on these guys and gals, and I just thought I would never be one of those people. And I'm still not, but, it's just, there's a lot of freedom in it. You can make a good income doing stuff, helping people with what I think is their absolute primary need, housing. We could go without food for a couple of days, but shelter is pretty tough,
Right on.
We all drive by the bus stops and we see how some people live, and it's a horrible thing to be without a home. So, it's something that everybody needs. Not everybody can afford to buy a house, true, but everyone needs housing of some kind. So, it's just a great calling for the right person.
Wonderful.
So that's what got me started in real estate 11 years ago, and I've had good years, and I've had other years where I'm more of a contractor, like that right now. I'm dying to get out of this, but it's what it's what puts food on the table and pays my mortgage. So that's what I'm doing. That's about all I can add to it. I've got nothing outstanding.
All right.
To stand on here.
I appreciate it. If you guys need a contractor, he's a really good contractor, but he doesn't want your work, so he wants to get out of that. So
I want to get out of that at the labor level. I probably will always, I have a big database of people that call me, so I probably won't ever get out of it. I just want to get to the point where I'm not dependent on it so much, and I can just hire out and keep other people busy, younger guys that can, swing a hammer and put things together. Yeah, but I appreciate that, those nice comments there, Alan.
You got it, buddy.
I'm pretty good at this after 34 years of doing it now. So anyway, that's my story.
All right, well, let's
get
moving
on from it.
Real estate sales then. How about that? 30 years of contractors. Now let's get you into the real estate and let's get your business going. How about that?
Yeah. No, I had some successful years, so I know what it's all about. When you got enough that you're hustling, I'd say it's very difficult to do two things full time that are, that take 100% of your time. So it's just, I'm wrapped up in this. I have been for too long. And anyway, yeah, that's why I'm tuning into this boot camp.
Well,
see if I can learn something new that can get me propelled out of this. I'm sanding drywall today. And, it's yummy. It's good. Tastes good.
All right.
All right. Thanks for calling on me.
Thanks, man. All right, let's continue. Miguel Ramirez. Miguel, what got you into real estate, buddy?
Oh, shit, this off.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so what got me into it was actually my friend Jose. He had been doing it for a couple of years now, and he seemed to really enjoy it. So, and he kept telling me, like, you should get into it. You should get into it. It's a good business. I was like, sure, why not? I tried the whole college route. There wasn't really much I was passionate about, I could say, in there. So I said, why not try something new? And yeah, it's a great opportunity. I mean, like everyone has stated, being able to have your own schedule, and be your own boss is a very it's a great feeling. Not having to worry about, always having to please other people. Just being the best person you could be, and the sky's the limit with the business. So as long as you put in the hard work, it seems like you could be very successful. So that was a very enticing idea for me. So that's pretty much why I got in.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Thanks so much, Miguel. Welcome aboard, buddy.
Thank you.
Sandy Solis.
Hi, Alan. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
All right. I have those allergies or something. I swear I don't have allergies, so maybe it's that kind of sickness that's going around. But so my real estate journey began when my corporate job decided to outsource my role to India. This was in the beginning of last year, 2021. So I had to make a decision whether or not to take severance and continue that journey in corporate America. I could have gone into other roles such as, because I was working in insurance sales with underwriting, so I could have gone further in underwriting or sales, but there was just this overwhelming feeling of doom over all of our heads with what's next. They could still outsource even our new roles with what they were trying to do. So talked to the husband and he's like, oh, why don't you join real estate? You've always wanted to join real estate. I see you looking at all the apps. I see you whenever we move. We're a military family, or we previously were. So it's always moving every year, and it's like I was always into it. So I decided to start taking the courses and getting licensed that year and just kind of taking it slow, kind of, while I was still employed. But I finally made the jump. April 1st was when I said goodbye to corporate America, said goodbye to, that security, right? It's super scary. It's like I said goodbye to the pension. I said goodbye to the 401k contributions, but so far, no regrets. And I tell you, it is such a sense of freedom that I've never really had before, even though the horizon is, still kind of wary and I'm not sure, how to do a lot of things. It's been eye-opening in the sense that I knew corporate America and my role in that department where I was failing for me because I didn't want to learn anymore in my role. I kind of gave up, like, no, I don't want to take on more training, and leadership and this. I think it was burnout. Even though I'm an educator, I've been a teacher. I've taught and I love education so much. So when I found real estate and Melissa put me up with all these cool little, Facebook videos and learning, I was obsessed. And I'm like, I can't get enough already. So the learning aspect of it is amazing for me. And I want to say that I didn't realize just how much, I don't know if it's COVID or just getting older, that I felt like I lost a sense of myself in the community, like I was sitting at my desk all day with the husband in the other room, also working from home all day long. And we get up from our chairs and we turn off the computer and we go into the living room and sit down and watch TV and have dinner. It was just like every day, it was the same old day, and right now I tell you, even with these little challenges with like, get out there and start, maybe meeting people and networking and doing this and going to events. It's amazing. And I think I'm in the right place, not only to challenge myself, as a little bit of an introvert, but to really get out there and make not only a difference, but a career in the community. So that's why I joined real estate.
Right on. Well, thank you so much, Sandy. That was awesome. Great to have you on board. All right, let's continue. Jose.
Yes, sir. So the reason how you doing?
Good. What's going on, man? What got you into real estate?
What got me into real estate? Well, as Miguel said, I have been doing it prior for a few years now, but I was more so on the investing side. So what got me into that, I guess, was the crash of 2008, believe it or not. And I know I'm fairly young, and I was only 10 years old when it happened. But I did see people. I would read stories. I was a very curious little kid on like rentals. So I would see people like my mom. Fortunately, picked one up, and she picked it up for like 15 grand, which nowadays it's gets you a box, but back then that got you a house. And I would see every month how she would go collect rent. And I would always ask her like, why? And she sat me down, explained the whole thing, and I just fell in love. And like I said, I was like 10 years old, and every year I would kind of Google it a little more and more and more, to the point where I got 18. I wanted to do it. I always, there was always that misconception growing up that when you see a real estate guru, I guess, or entrepreneur, they're always on the very, very like the older scale. I want to say very, very old, but like older than 18, right? Older than 20, older than 25, older than 30, typically. The more I looked it up, the more I got intrigued, the more I wanted to do it. What kind of forced me into it is I broke my leg at my previous job at a dealership. And, no one hires someone with a broken leg. So I talked to my mom. I had a little bit of money saved up, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. I purchased my first flip at 19. And then I realized how much commission an agent was going to take. And then I signed up for classes when I was about 19. And then I realized all the liability that was also there when you flip and you become your own agent and stuff like that. I didn't even realize the camera was off. And then when I realized that, I kind of let go of the real estate thing, the licensing, because I wanted to continue flipping. One of my other dreams was become a contractor. So I kind of let go of the real estate thing for a little bit. And then now I kind of finished flipping. I still kind of flip here and there, but I kind of have my own subs left and right. So I really don't have to do as much work. So I don't have as much liability now. So then I decided to go back and get my real estate license because, why not? I always get calls of people left and right who want to list their homes, purchase new homes. And fortunately, I can't help them. I don't have a license. So like, why not go get my license, help the people, help the community, especially the Hispanic community, because unfortunately, I do see them taking advantage a lot, whether it's selling a property, buying a property, little things here and there. So I want to be that difference, I guess. And pretty much how everyone else says, it's your own schedule in a way, but it's not. So it's weird. So yeah, I'm sure we could all agree we let go of a 40 to 60 hour work week to pick up a 100-hour work week. We all say it's creating our own schedule, but you're at the end of the day, you're working a little more than you would at the previous job. But in my eyes, I have fun doing it. So it's not really a job at the end of the day. Well, you shouldn't treat it as a job, it's a business, but it's not dreadful. I could wake up at 6, 7 in the morning, hop on MLS, start looking for deals, start looking for, potential properties for my clients. And it doesn't bother me. I could be on until 8, 9 p.m. and it won't bother me, as opposed to a job. You're sitting there, you get there, you clock in, 20 minutes later, you're like, crap, when do I go home? So it's just the difference of, I don't know, it's the different variations of what you could do with real estate, whether you invest, whether you rental, whether you help other people, wholesale, flip. There's just so much you could do with it. It's not just buying and selling. And that's kind of what got me into it. And that's kind of what made me fall in love with it. It's something different every day. It's not a desk job.
Love it, dude. And how old are you again, Jose?
I'm 22.
22. Wow. 22 years old, folks. All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. All right. Next we got is Brooks Boss Realtor. What's going on, Brooke?
Hi, good morning.
Good
Okay, I put my
morning.
camera on too. I don't hope it's not too scary. I was getting ready. Oh man. Okay, why I got into real estate.
We got we got filters
Wait.
now.
I've got my lights on, but I can't get my Snapchat filter while I'm on. So this is it.
All right. What got you into real estate?
What got me into real estate? So I've been a stay-at-home mom. Being a stay-at-home mom, 3 amazing boys. It was great. They're older. I want to do something. I want to create a legacy. Life changes, and I want to show them that no matter what, they can do whatever they want, and they can make a difference. And for me, I wanted to be in something where I could make a difference and change people's lives. So here I am.
Make a difference. Love it. Thanks, Brooke. Thanks for having you.
Make a difference. Create a legacy.
I love it. Love it. All right, Elvis.
Thank you.
What's up, Elvis?
Hey,
Elvis, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Awesome, dude. All right, great. So what got you into real estate?
What got me to real estate? It's a long story, but short. Let's make it short.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Start now. So I got into real estate in 2017 when I'm a physical therapist and I had my own business in Chicago. And after working day and night, weekends and so on, I end up with a chunk of money. And I was like, what I'm gonna do with this? And I start, looking on the internet, figure out what I'm gonna do. And I found real estate. So I put some money in some properties. I bought some properties, and it became a passion. Like a passion that I think I'm so grateful that I found it. That it's unbelievable. Sometimes it's that saying that when the student is ready, the teacher shows up. So I guess this is what I found, and so I started buying properties in Midwest because I lived in Chicago for 16 years. And I bought properties in Chicago, I bought properties in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And now I'm just managing them. Long distance, which is really cool. I have a bunch of contractors over there. Even this morning I had an issue. Just called the contractor. By the end of this day, everything is done. And then you get to collect the checks at the end of the month, pay your whatever dues, and everything else is just profit. So that was the beginning of real estate. So then I moved here in Phoenix because my wife moved here before, and I was going back and forth between Chicago and Phoenix every 2 weeks. I was here, and it was a time when I had to decide what I'm going to do. So, I don't want to lose my marriage over my business. So I closed my business in Chicago, and I moved here in Phoenix, and I'm here for almost 3 years. And as a joke, I was like, let me get my real estate license. Just as a joke, just to challenge myself. And sure enough, I finished the school. I took my exam. I got a license. So what are you going to do with the license? Sell some real estate. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And I really enjoyed it, even though I love more the investing part of. I'm a part of some investor groups in Midwest, and I talk to them every day. And even though I like that part a little bit more, I still enjoy the challenges of being a real estate agent, especially in the market as Phoenix. And I mean, it's all good. It's all good. So far, so good.
And here's the beautiful thing about it, right? You can thanks so much, Elvis. You can do all of it. Like you can sell real estate, you can invest real estate, right? I mean, it's amazing to me. Like all of you guys have very, very common reasons why you got into the real estate. I hear a lot of flexibility. I hear a lot of being my own boss. I'm hearing a lot about having no caps, right? I'm hearing, making, creating a legacy, have a fulfillment, being happy, making money, right? All of them are so common, right? And I love that because that's one of the main reasons why I got into real estate myself. I always share this with the agents. Real estate is not who we are, but it's this beautiful vehicle. You can make this a fancy vehicle. You can make this Rolls Royce. You can make this Bentley. You can make this Tesla, right? You can make this amazing vehicle that can take you to a place and have you experience some amazing things in life, and that can be in terms of flexibility, having freedom. And what I mean by freedom, it's not just, freedom in terms of like free from everybody. No, absolutely not. It's about having a freedom to experience great things with your family members, with your loved ones, do things that you really want to do whenever you want to do them, whoever you want to do it with. Having that freedom is amazing thing. And then, of course, the investment side of things, like Elvis, for instance, he's got investment properties in Midwest. Jose, before he decided to sell real estate, was flipping real estate, working with the contractors. We have agents here in the company that have been with us for a couple of years, and not only they're selling real estate, but they're also invest in real estate, and they hold real estate portfolios. They do short-term rentals, they do long-term rentals. So real estate is just that amazing vehicle, right? That can generate a lot of opportunities for you, not only income, but also long-lasting relationships. Now, with all of that I said, flexibility can be a blessing or it can be a curse. And what I mean by that is, coming from the corporate world myself, in corporate world, you got pretty much a set schedule, right? You got to show up at a certain time. You got to leave at a certain time, right? And you got to be at your desk, or you got to be doing certain things that the employer requires you to do. In real estate, that's not the case. And not everybody can really handle that when they step out of the corporate world into our world, okay? And flexibility sometimes becomes an issue because, you're not as structured as you were before. You don't have that boss. And a lot of times you really do not have a set schedule, okay? And in this business, one thing that I learned from the beginning stages, and when I got into the real estate back in 2013, the biggest thing for me was the fact that I always had to have a schedule. If I would not have a schedule, my day would just not go according to my goals, according to my plans. So one of the key things that I really want you guys to focus on, there are a couple of things. First and foremost, okay, you want to ask yourself, what really is your purpose when it comes to real estate industry? What are you trying to achieve? Who you're trying to help, right? What is your mission when it comes to real estate sales? Like my mission, honestly, my first year in business was not about, hey, I want to sell X number of homes, or I want to make X number of clients happy, or this or that. My mission was very simple my first year in business. It was making sure that I was able to make $60,000 so I can pay my bills, because at that time, my 3 kids were under age of 5, and my daycare bill alone was $2,100 a month. My mortgage was another $2,000 a month. My 2 car payments was another $1,000 a month. So $5,000, that's not including food or clothes, were coming out of our checking account every single month, and there's not much money coming in. So for me, every single month, my mission, my target, my goal, my purpose is what, man, I got to help enough clients so I can make at least $4,000 or $5,000 a month. So in your situation, you got to figure out and write that down, guys. That's very important, is before we even go through the scheduling, before we set our next 90 days, before we touch anything when it comes to the lead sources, is really identifying what is your purpose in this business. Why are you doing what you're doing right now? Because flexibility is important. Being your boss is very important. Having the financial freedom is very important. All of those things are important. But ultimately, there's got to be a reason why you're doing what you're doing. For me, it was my family. For me, it was my kids. For me, it was the fact that I did not want to screw up. I didn't want to go and get another job and have a corporate job and have somebody tell me what to do from morning to evening. I had to make it work. So for you guys, you got to figure this out. And the reason you want to figure this out, that this is important, guys, what is my purpose? Why am I doing what I'm doing? What is the reason behind it? Is because there are going to be days and there are going to be weeks when things are not going to go according to the script. There are going to be days when you're going to be questioning things. Even during this 12-week period, there are going to be days when you're going to be saying, you know what? Whatever Alan said, whatever Melissa suggested we do, whatever someone else said, it's not working. And you're going to be questioning it. And there are also going to be days when you're going to be feeling discouraged, especially in situations when you have a buyer that you can trying to get under contract and you're having a hard time doing that for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And the price of gasoline is going up and up and up and up. There are going to be those situations. There are going to be situations when your contract falls through, when your buyer or seller contract falls through. There are going to be situations where, unfortunately, you have to go get a part-time job. But what's really going to keep you on track, what's really going to keep you going is that purpose, is that reason why you're doing what you're doing. Because like I said, real estate can be very rewarding. My first year in business, I made $60,000. My third year in business, I netted $500,000. And all of you can do exactly the same thing. All of you, if not even bigger and more. There is no cap in real estate. There's no ceiling in real estate. You can get paid as much as you really want to get paid in real estate. Real estate will open up doors for you guys to other relationships, to other opportunities, bigger opportunities, to investments, to freedoms. Everything that you guys are talking about it can be achieved and can be achieved in a very short period of time. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen in the next 6 to 12 months. And I think we have to take that into consideration. We as a society in general, we're living under Amazon rule. And Amazon rule means that we have to have instant gratification in everything that we try to do or we put our hands on. And the reality of the matter is we have to be able to disattach ourselves from the results or the outcomes and focus and follow and trust the process. And the process is going to be next 90 days. How committed are you going to be in the next 90 days? Are you going to attend every single meeting in the next 90 days? Are you going to take notes in the next 90 days? Are you going to do your homework in the next 90 days? Are you going to hold yourself accountable in the next 90 days? Are you going to keep your commitments in the next 90 days? Because ultimately, it comes back to that. There's no such a thing as a silver bullet in real estate. There's no such a thing as the fact that you can just buy a tool or buy a service or join a brokerage or join a team, and from day one, you're going to be getting deals left and right. It doesn't work that way. You got to put in the time. You got to put in the effort. You got to spend time on developing and enhancing your skills. You got to continually work on your brand. You got to continually develop connections and build relationships with potential buyers and sellers. So for all of that, you got to have a plan. You got to have a schedule. So for instance, every single Sunday, I sit down for half an hour to 45 minutes and I put together a plan for the entire week. Now, before I put together a plan for the entire week ahead, I go back and I see what I was able to accomplish the previous week. And more importantly, what I was not able to accomplish or achieve. And I decide, do I continue focusing on those things or do I do something else? Most of the time, I will continue focusing on the things until I get them accomplished. So sitting down for half an hour, 40 minutes, an hour, and ideally you want to set this up, guys, in a way where there are no any distractions. There are no any like, again, I have 3 kids. I have a dog. I know, and all of us, or most of us have family, have kids. Ideally, you don't want to have any kids running around, dogs running around, TVs, or any of that stuff. I usually go to a coffee shop. I go somewhere where I don't have any of that stuff. And for the next 45 minutes to an hour, I'm planning my week. So when you're planning your week, you need to identify, and that's something we can dive into in more in the later sessions during this 12-week period. You need to identify really what's important in your business on a weekly basis. What is really going to truly help you to increase your business? A lot of times we don't have that. We don't really truly sit down and figure this out. Or we know what we have to do, unfortunately, but we do not do it because it's a hard thing to do. Or it may not be popular, or it may not be sexy, or we're not really truly seeing the results very quickly. Remember, guys, a lot of things that we do, that I do, I don't really enjoy doing it, but I do it because they have to be done. I remember starting in this business, I used to get to the office at 7 o'clock in the morning. And from 7:30 on, I would be calling expired, canceled, and for sale by owner listings. Not because I enjoyed. I don't know if you ever tried calling expired listings or cancel listings. Try it. Trust me, it's not like the walk in the park or anything like that. I mean, if you want some nasty people, I mean, you're going to get them right there. But the reason I was doing it is because I want to get listings. For me, that was one of my targets. I want to become the best listing agent. I want to have most of my business coming from the sellers. Why? Because I knew I can leverage listings. I knew if I have a listing, I will have a buyer. And I know I will have more time to get another listing. So for me, I had to swallow this big pill, if you will, which did not taste well. And every day from 7:30 on, I would make my phone calls for hours straight. That was my target. And there were days when I was questioning things. There were days when I didn't feel like doing it. There were days when I said, fuck this, sorry for my language. This is not working. But I did it because at the end of the day, I did not have a plan B. At the end of the day, 3 kids under age of 5, daycare bill alone, mortgage. And I said to myself, and I said it to my wife, I'm not going to screw this up. That was my purpose. That was my why. And those things helped me to persevere. Those things made me more resilient. So you got to find, that's the first thing that you got to find in you. What is your purpose in this business? What is your mission? Why are you doing what you're doing? Because there are going to be times when things are not going to go according to the script, according to the schedule. There are going to be days when you can be sidetracked. There are going to be days when you're going to feel like, you know what, the entire world is collapsing on you. The market that we're in right now is not an easy market. It's a difficult market. It's a horrible market. You got to be mentally strong. You got to constantly continue to work and enhance and focus on your skills. You got to market yourself. You got to have great negotiation skills. All of those things you have to constantly work on. And I'm not saying you're going to get there right away, but this is the reason why we have this boot camp, to help you to really enhance those skills, to become a professional. So this way you can go and compete and get that business on a consistent basis and have those opportunities and create that legacy for yourself, for your kids and your grandkids. This business is not an easy business. It's a simple business. And that's what I love about it, but it's not an easy business. So it will require a lot of your time, a lot of your effort. Again, flexibility is there. Don't get me wrong. Like Jose said, I can start at 6 o'clock in the morning and I can work till 9 o'clock. The reason I don't feel tired is because I love it. You got to love this business. You got to enjoy the challenges in this business. You have to become immune to some of the stresses in this business. But the way to do it is constantly immersing yourself, learning, enhancing your skills, surrounding yourself by very much like-minded individuals. That during the tough moments, during the tough months or days, hopefully not months, okay, they walk you through all of these steps. So going back to the schedule, Sunday, schedule, focus on the things again that really will help you to grow your business. Who can tell me here what we get paid to do on a daily basis as agents? Who can share?
We get paid for educating our customers about real estate, not necessarily selling them the home. We want them to be educated, because anyone can sell anyone a home, but we need to educate them the proper ways on how to buy real estate.
Okay, educating clients.
Prospecting.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Prospecting.
Okay, what does that mean, prospecting?
Well, that's where, you know, it's not immediate getting paid, but with us doing our outreach, whether it's sync, whether it's social media or door knocking, those are my 3 pillars currently. But that's how we get paid, is by doing that.
I love that. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, one of our jobs is to have conversations with people about real estate.
Mm-hmm.
That's what prospecting means, right? So for me, prospecting in the first 3 years of business was expireds, cancels for sale by owners over the phone, and then open houses in person. That was my way of prospecting. And you got to have some sort of a prospecting mechanism or a system or a source consistently that will help you to build your pipeline. That can be phones, that can be in-person open houses, that can be social media, that can be your sphere, that can be sitting at the coffee shop and having a laptop up and having a sticker in the back of it that says, I'm a realtor, ask me questions. I don't care what it is. But you got to have something every day that you do to let people know that you're in real estate. That's got to be done. So you got to figure out, like, what is the lead source, or what are the lead sources that I will focus on, and ideally for the next 90 days. And when I say for 90 days, it's because the first few weeks, it's all going to be trial and error. The first few weeks, you're going to feel very uncomfortable. The first few weeks, you're going to be questioning the whole thing. Trust me, when I started calling expired, cancel, for sale by owners, in the first month and a half to 2 months, I was like, holy moly, like this is not working. As a matter of fact, after 2 months, I almost was really close of giving up. Same thing with the sync leads. When I started buying those sync leads, the first 3 to 4 months, I was like, why am I wasting my time and money on this? This is not working. But here's what I did. Instead of giving up, I learned. I asked questions. I hired people that were doing it on a much higher level. I paid for their services. I paid for their knowledge. I went on YouTube. I asked other agents within a company. I did not give up. I tried to get better. And every time when you're doing something, even though you're not seeing the results instantly, and here's one thing, guys, you're not going to see the results right away. There's no such a thing. Yeah, you may get lucky here and there. But in reality, anything that is worthwhile, you guys know this, takes time, takes a lot of repetitions, a lot of rejection. But that's where, if you decide to do this, if you decided to make this your career, if you want to have that flexibility, if you want to have that freedom, if you want to have the ability to do the things that you really want to do with your loved ones without being dependent on corporate, you got to go through these hard steps. And you got to immerse yourself into whatever lead source you decided to focus on. Most of the lead sources out there are viable lead sources and they will work. What doesn't work is when you start and you stop. When you start and you stop. And then people are always complaining about starting something. Well, the problem with that is you're quitting. For the next 90 days, starting with this boot camp, by the way, you should not quit. You should attend them every single week. For the next 90 days, you put together a plan that you should not quit. You should go through it. And every time you're doing it, you're going to get better. Even if it's a 0.5%, 1%, you're going to get better. Repetitions are going to make you better. So on Sundays, we spend time on putting together that plan. On Sundays, you list 3 or 4 things that you know if you do them, and by the way, most of you know what you have to do every day to move your business forward. And if you don't, I will help you in identifying that. Melissa will help you in identifying that. But every day it has to be scheduled around those tasks. It has to be. It's prospecting, in other words, talking to people about real estate. It's marketing and promoting yourselves on social media. That's got to be done every single day. It's focusing and developing your sphere. We all have people that we know in our world. The question is, do they know the fact that you're in real estate? Did you reach out to them? Did you have a conversation with them? Did you share your vision, your plans on how you can help and assist them or the people that they know with their real estate needs? When you call your sphere, are you just stop there, or you ask them, hey, who do you know, or who can you connect me with that maybe I can assist? It's almost kind of peeling an onion, layer after layer after layer. Don't just settle on the people that you know, immediate people. That may be only 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 people. Your goal is to find out who they know, who they can connect you with. And then the same thing, the people that the second layer, the third layer, who they know. So like peeling an onion or a rose, the same thing essentially. Okay, you want to get as many people to talk to as possible. So once you have that schedule, has to be in your calendar, has to be in your planner. Because if it's not in your calendar, if it's not in your planner, it means that it doesn't exist. This right here, mine, doesn't have enough capacity to constantly remember what you have to do every single day. If you do have a buyer's showings, do you put that in a calendar? Raise your hand, guys.
Yes.
Okay, who puts, if you have a buyer showing, do you put that in a calendar?
Yes.
Yes.
If you have a listing appointment, do you put that in a calendar?
Yes.
If you're gonna have to do prospecting for the next 2 hours, do you put that in the calendar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All of that has to be in the calendar. Because if it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist. I live or die, I die with my calendar. I have to have a calendar in front of me constantly. And that's not even including a planner. And I have a planner right here as well. You have to have that. Again, don't forget, guys, you're business people. This is your business. You own that business. You don't have a boss that tells you what to do. That's why it makes it difficult, because at the end of the day, you got to let yourself know what to do. And that's where the structure comes in. That's where it's taking time out of your busy schedule, sitting down for half an hour, 45 minutes to an hour on Sundays, and planning out your entire week is going to help you tremendously. Focusing on the things that are really going to move the needle forward. Now, in addition to it, for me, again, the game changer was every evening, I reflect and see what I was able to accomplish that day. And then I will schedule or change things for the next day. So I know, again, what to work on the next day. So when I come to the office, and again, that's now, and that was the case 9 years ago, I knew what exactly I had to do. There was no like, okay, what do I do right now? What do I do an hour from now? What do I do 3 hours from now? I have a schedule. And that helps you tremendously, guys, to really, again, focus on the things that are really going to help you to grow your business, build your business. I see this a lot with the agents, is like they don't know what to do. Or they think they know what to do, and they're focusing on the things that are just not really going to be able to move the needle forward. We have to all remember, we only have 24 hours in a day, and out of that 24 hours, we're not working 24 hours. We're only working maybe 3, 4, 5 hours a day. Especially the ones that with kids and family and everything else that comes with it, you're only working 3 to 4 hours a day. So the goal is to make sure those 3, 4 hours are extra focused on the things that help you to grow your business. So again, what we want to focus on is your schedule, guys. All right. It's one of the core things that you got to definitely do before you start a week, and obviously the next day you want to have that schedule. All right, Melissa, do we have any additional time, or?
Yeah, I'll just hit on some slides real quick if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Alan, so much. So hopefully I would probably cut that and hear that every morning to give you that ignition that you need on a daily basis personally. Thank you so much, Alan, for sharing all that. The beauty behind starting with why you got into this industry is something you might have to write down and kind of remember, because you're constantly going to have those moments of frustration. Then it could be weeks, months, and you really want to get over that hump frustration, and when you do, it's so rewarding, and it's just an amazing accomplishment. So just to kind of reiterate a little bit of what Alan was speaking to, we do have a tool here at Best Homes Real Estate. It is called a 30-day momentum planner. We have a 90-day version out there as well. I like the 30-day chunk one, and there's a few things that we will be filling out today. So I do kind of have a nice little quote in the beginning, which is, the actions you take during your first few months in a new role will largely determine whether you succeed or fail. It's a little abrupt. However, it is a nice reminder. I personally recently bought a book of the first 90 days, and it's something that I want to kind of aim to revisit every 90 days in regards to something that you're doing or evolving or changing. And it's just one of those tools that you have to really get going and started. So one of the first pages on the 30-day momentum planner, is finding your target audience. So throughout today's conversation, it was really spoken of, who are you targeting? What are you getting paid for? So number one is reaching out to people, prospecting, like Becky Meyer said. And there's 3 musts that will be required to fill out today. And the accountability for today's call is me. So I will personally be reaching out and getting a copies of these. So if you want to write that down, they'll be due by Thursday. I personally would fill out as soon as you get off this call because it's present. It's just something you just left. Hopefully the call with some ignition to really get going. So those, if you can get it done today, even better. If not, you have until Thursday. So starting with laying out your vision, which is going to be on the the second page in actually. So who is your client avatar? What is your value proposition? I.e., why should I hire you as an agent if you're representing me as a buyer or if you're representing a seller? And of course, where do you find them and how do you find them? So it's just some basic things that you really want to aim for. Alan was talking about peeling an onion. As you see, I like to use the dartboard analogy that I recently shared in a mastermind that one of our lenders here at the office actually kind of helped put into perspective is where am I throwing my target so that it's just like aimlessly, it's like wherever it lands, that's what I'm working on this week. Quite the contrary, you really actually want to be very intentional with whom, what, and perfect it. Or like Alan said, you have a choice of keep going. Instead of giving up, you can just keep going, and you have to keep on learning and asking questions. And those are the things you want to focus on. So if my avatar right now is, let's just say, first-time home buyers. We all know the struggles of first-time home buyers. So I'm going to start doing my homework. I'm going to start being aggressive, or I have to pick up an additional pillar, whatever the case is. So page number 2 is the tracker itself. You can't measure or impact something that's not working or improve on something if you don't track it. You have nothing tangible. You have no way. In any business, you have to track. So why did all of us, including myself, get into this industry? It was to build our own schedule. It was to be our own boss, right? But like Ryan said, there's no limitations in this industry, or Alan said, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. But you cannot run a business without metrics. It's impossible. So that's where you have to track. So we have a tracker within the tool here on doing it. So this is something you clearly can't turn on Thursday, but if you're working twice a week, 5 days a week, 7 days a week, leverage this tool. And if you're like, I'm off on the weekend, well, so I'm just going to turn you in this tracker, then go right ahead. But it gives you something tangible to measure. So just get in the habit of doing it. I'm just going to send pages. I'm not going to send the actual booklet. You'll just have copies of the actual page. But again, there is an actual booklet that most of you have had a copy of or can get a copy through Kelly at Magnus. And then the third page is selecting your business pillars. So Becky Maya mentioned her business pillars earlier when she answered one of the questions earlier. You have to know your business pillars. Am I prospecting for online leads, open houses, sphere? It's just be very, very specific on what those action steps are. In the planner itself, there is right next to it, there is one with Alan's pillars when he was selling 60 to 65 homes. These are the exact things that he did. There's no secrets. It's literally to the point. But the difference was the consistency and just doing it. So those are the 3 must-haves that you will have to be filling out for today's bootcamp course. It was kind of a bonus, kind of to inspire, ignite, and have fun. But we're going to go back to the schedule, which is highly focused on in the beginning of this next segment. There is one specific page that's called your ideal schedule. So this is my schedule that you are designing. You are empowered and you're in control. Every week you have to technically visit this, whether you're doing it online on a Google form or whether you're doing the actual physical pen and paper form. Start with the pen and paper form, block out the things that are most important for you. Like when Alan had me do this many years ago, the first one was like Zoom. I cannot do anything from 2 to 3 o'clock because I got into this industry for my schedule. And one of the most important things for me during the week was to pick up my kid after school. So nothing was more important to me because I've never been able to do that in 14 years. So picking up for school and making her something for lunch was the most important thing. Cool, block it out. And that's kind of where you want to start. Maybe it's not a suggestion from a top producer, but just as someone who's seen different people's careers, I always start with their day off. Work-life balance is important. That's why we also got into this industry. You want to be present. So if you go to church, if you do activities, if you go to the park, and for me, that day was Sunday. So Sunday, 2 o'clock blocked out. Now I still have a lot to work with. A lot of you guys go to the gym, your gym gurus. Okay, block out the gym time. And then you'll see that your schedule starts getting a little smaller and smaller. Okay, when am I prospecting? If I follow Alan's blueprint to the T, it's literally only 2 hours of prospecting. So you get to pick and choose. I also use my tracker. So then you get to reference. And then you get to maybe call Alan, or you call your accountability, or you just vent to someone over lunch. It's like, I'm calling every day from 9 to 11 and I can't get anyone on the phone. If I tell that to Raul Henriquez, one of the top conversion people here, he'll be like, have you tried calling at a different time? And be like, no. Okay, so start with that. So something as simple as that can just change my entire blueprint. But again, you cannot do it if you're not tracking. So design your ideal schedule. Check. And overall, I recently saw this quote that really spoke to me. So I put, don't mistake activity with achievement. It's one of the most dangerous zones that anyone can fall in. But when you're your own boss, it's the scariest and the most dangerous one. Sometimes busy work seems like, man, I'm just busy all day in this industry and I still can't get someone under contract or get any hot leads. So it's like, what exactly is your busy work? And it's little things. Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I'm looking into my new signs. And it's, it just becomes all this fab work, but you want to block out time on when you want to do those things because they're important, but there's certain things that do outweigh those things. So that's where it comes down to the importance level. It's like, okay, I have these big things, I have these little things, but the little things seem to be outweighing the little things. So then there's this filling the jar quote that I think many of you have heard. There's YouTube videos. I think it's been out there since a professor taught it, I think decades ago at this point. Some of you were like 10 years old in middle school. Recently, I asked some of the staff here, I was like, what were you doing? My husband and I have been together for 22 years. And I was like, what were you guys doing 10, 15 years ago? And they're like, man, enjoying middle school is what I was doing. So it's just one of those things where this quote came out many years ago, but it's still very relevant to this day. It's how are you filling your time jar? This little tool here we have at the office. You can get copies. You can just print this one out, but it is your large rocks, right? Fill out the things that are priority. Like Alan said, you go into the small rocks, then you go into the pebbles, and the water and the sand are things that you can put on top of it. So Google this analogy on YouTube so you can see different professors teach it. I clearly am not doing it justice because it's a whole course in itself, and it just really feeds back into what all of you just said, into what Alan just said. It's you have to start with the rocks. If you are starting from scratch and you have no business, you have no hot leads, and your primary source, just for the sake of an example, is online leads, then you better get good at online leads. You have to look at the courses on the academy. You have to call in the hours you don't want to call. So there's someone where I had, Alan, just these objections and the moment of, and I expressed my feelings, and still I would still get frustrated. And even over a chat, I told this to an agent, like, just pour yourself a glass of wine, Melissa, at 6 o'clock and start calling sync leads. Text me if you get anything fun. I was like, he's right, just screw it, let's do it. And sure enough, you book an appointment and it's just like, what? But then you go back to your accountability, and those are the moments that are going to be far more rewarding than the frustration of just stopping and going. If it's open houses, Eddie just did one. He just got a lead. He just closed his first deal from an open house. If you've been doing open houses for months and years and I just hate them, but you want to revisit them, then revisit them. We have multiple courses on there. We're going to have a course that visits this subject alone in our boot camp. But that's one of those things where it's like, you're making a choice. Are you going to just give up? Or are you going to just get better? Like Alan said earlier, it's ultimately up to you. And if you want to give up on it, then you need to find something to replace it. But don't make the mistake of doing it and going and doing it and going. That was like the perfect analogy for this sheet alone. So fill in the time jar, find your pebbles, find your rocks, find your water, because overall, essentially, you can make it happen. The people who sell 6 houses a month, like Robert Tolnai, who sold them in the month of January, or Erica Mallory, who sold 4 in February, or Kijan, one of our 30 under 30 agents within our brokerage, sold 6 houses last month. If they can make it happen, so can you. But I think it's the priority level and the change. All of them are very different. One of them's a top producer with kids and a wife and help is in an investing world, has been doing this for a hot minute. The other, Erica, was a partner who just graduated to the entrepreneur model and focuses a lot of her energy on it. And then we have Kijan, who's kind of in the investment world. So it's kind of nice that a lot of you can actually relate to him and maybe reach out or talk to other agents like Felix Sandoval, people who are in that industry too. So we do have a nice mix of people who can relate to anyone within this call in itself. But these are the things that we need to kind of fill out. And I personally will be reaching out. Just a few things is just making sure to stay on target. They're all due by Thursday, with the exception, of course, of the tracker, since the tracker itself is something you use. Even if you get a pad and paper, track, because any coach, you can hire coaches that charge nothing to thousands of dollars. They're like, I can't, without any tangible fact, you can't really give any type of feedback. So that is a gist of what today's call is. I hope you guys found value in it. We did go live on Facebook today because one, it was a bonus and a surprise that I was going to have Alan today, but it was really to give you those words of encouragement and to ignite your month, your week, and your many years to come in this industry, because we all want to be our own boss. We all want to control our schedule. But if you need to put your boss hat on and say, you got to make your schedule and keep to it. And the moments that you're not, you need to reflect, whether that's morning for you, whether that's Sunday, whether that's an evening. That's where sometimes it gets gray. It's not a black and white answer because it has to fit with you, who you are as an individual. Some of you can wake up at Sunday at 5 in the morning and do it. I personally cannot, but I'm kind of an evening person. I have, and then that's where that speaks to me. So those are the reasons why multiple examples are shared on every training that we do. But anything before we let everyone go? This again is a boot camp. It is kind of, if you complete every course and attend every Tuesday, block it in your schedule. It is just one of those things that do not give up and just continue. Emergencies happen, you'll have things where to go, but we'll pre-record it, view it, and there will be a challenge, i.e. kind of homework at the end of each course. But the next week's course is going to be on transaction desk. If anyone thinks like, I'm pretty good at it, overall, essentially, is also going into revisiting a little bit of last week. And then we're going to go into some tips and tricks of transaction desk because you want to be efficient. If you know literally everything of transaction desk and can teach the course tomorrow, one, let me know. And then two, just let me know if that's something that you have. But I think everyone on the call would definitely find value. And it's going to be lead success manager over in the Prescott Valley teaching this course. But Alan, any last words from you or any questions from anyone else today?
Well, look, guys, thank you so much for, again, taking time out of your busy schedule. Look, guys, that old Nike slogan, just do it, right? I really truly believe that you can significantly improve your business, your life, your happiness by simply focusing just for 1 year, like literally focusing on this business for 1 year. But let's start for the next 90 days. Just be laser focused, right? Do the things that you have to do on a daily basis. All right. And you will start seeing amazing results, right? And you're going to gain more and more confidence by seeing that progress. And again, that 90 days will become an amazing year for you. And it's funny, we overestimate what we can do in 1 year, and we kind of way underestimate what we can do in 5 years. Imagine yourself in 5 years from now where you guys can be. Business-wise, financially, relationships, health, faith, all of those things. And like I said, real estate is one of those amazing vehicles that can help you to get to a place where you can experience some amazing things. So let's stay committed to it. Let's stay consistent to it. Put this on your schedule every single week on Tuesday at 11 o'clock. Be here. Participate. Do your homework, right? And let's just focus. Let's focus on the next 90 days, then the next 90 days, and the next 90 days, and then we have a year, and we're going to experience some amazing things. All right, guys? I appreciate all of you. Good luck. As always, we're here for you. if you need, to pick my brain, whatever it is, always reach out to Melissa and everybody else in the company. And we'll see you guys next week on Tuesday. Take care.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.